Hey guys, this is Crypto with James, talking to you today about AI. This is a sector I think has huge potential for growth over the next 10 years. So I really want to get into this. Before I do, as always, I opened the spreadsheet. These are the first 26 coins I spoke about on the channel that I thought would absolutely crush it in this bull cycle. Had you invested $100 into each one when I released the videos and you still hold those bags, you'd be in profit for 71,000, and in the 2,600 that you actually invested, you'd be sitting on 73,600. I've held them all in closed positions on them all in profit, except green, and then reinvested that money into new cryptos. If you want to see what I mean, you can check out Copy My Crypto. It's where I share my live portfolio, one I've built to maximize gains during this bull cycle, one that keeps outperforming the market week in, week out. Biggest holdings keep, I actually prime for some serious gains. And I keep saying this, and I'll keep banging on about this because it needs to be repeated, right? The bull cycle will end. If you're new to this space, this is your first bull cycle. When it ends dramatically, right? Within 2 weeks of the top of the market, there'll be a 70% correction. Maybe 60%, might be less because more people are in the market, but it will be big. And then we'll have an extended bear cycle, which will last for a couple of years. And people leave the market. That's the time to be doubling down on like going hard on investments. I found Phantom during the bear cycle, 438 times up in value. And all I'll do during the bear cycle is look at coins that are 20, 40, 100 times undervalued. And I'll be sharing those with the people on Copy My Crypto. So if you want to learn what they are, you can check it out, because make no mistake about it, there's going to be some ridiculous opportunities when this bear cycle kicks in. Okay, AI. So this is actually the AI and big data section of like category on CoinMarketCap. Now AI right now is relatively small comparatively to big data. For sure, big data needs a video by itself. Case in point, like quick rundown on what big data is. You know, your Apples, your Facebooks, your Googles, their money doesn't come from advertising. You know, their money comes from the data that they can get on us as individuals. And people seem to not give a shit about their own data being out there. It's a weird one. But that's where the money is. You know, Zuckerberg realized that that's what he needed, was those algorithms that can be tailored to make sure that your experience on Facebook fits right, that then the advertising within it is more beneficial. The data is the money. But yeah, data is not what I'm talking about today. I'm talking about artificial intelligence. Now, there are two types, okay? And there's a weird perspective on artificial intelligence about this sort of Terminator-like potential, right? So there is an important distinction to make between AI and what is referred to as AGI. Now, Forbes have actually got it the wrong way around. They call it general AI, but that's not right. So artificial intelligence is basically programmable, right? Artificial intelligence is functions that have been pre-programmed. Artificial general intelligence, so AGI, artificial general intelligence, is where the goal is for the machines to be as smart as humans, to be capable of performing any task that any human is capable of. That is what AGI is. That's what Terminator is. You know, this stupid, like, there is a fair narrative of and point of discussion of, you know, is artificial intelligence a threat to humanity? No, artificial intelligence isn't. AGI is. Down the line, that could be, because if you've got something that can be smarter than humans, but without the morality within there, although it's questionable about humans in that regard, but then there's a potential concern, right? But AI is about pre-programmed functionality, and AI has seen dramatic moves in the past couple of decades. We've seen a hell of a lot. So AI is involved in all our lives to some degree. Make no mistake about it. So if we look at like the innovations in the past couple of decades, so we saw in '97 we saw Deep Blue. That was one of the first computers was made by IBM, but it was the first computer to beat Garry Kasparov, of all people, in a pair of 6-game chess matches. You know, Garry Kasparov, right? Then there was a poker playing AI program called Polaris that beat bloody Brad Rutter and Ken Jennings. We saw Furby in '98. You know, that could chat with the kids and stuff. We saw Roomba, which was the original iRobot vacuum cleaner. We saw Siri. Now Siri's in everyone's life, or versions of it. Whether it's Siri, Alexa, Cortana, or Google Assistant, that's AI. That's AI, right? And you interact with, you ask it questions, it gives you answers. They'll schedule your events, they'll schedule your calendar, they'll answer your questions, adjust your settings to your TV, your phone, whatever. That's in our lives. Everyone's. There's everyone that's probably watching this has at some point asked either a dumbass question to Siri or Cortana or whatever. ImagineNet, we saw that the ImagineNet challenge in 2015, AlphaGo Zero in 2016. We saw Elon Musk's OpenAI group that beat top players at Dota 2. And these are dramatic innovations that we've seen. But what I would point out is, of all of these, none of them permeate your lives on a day-to-day basis, except Siri. But there's room for, and this is my point, there's room for growth. AI is going to be disruptive, and it's going to be unpleasant in many regards. Because when AI is fully integrated into industries, jobs are going to be lost. It's inevitable. You know, it will start with the bigger companies that can afford to use AI, that will inevitably save money on their workforce. As AI potentially becomes cheaper, it will start integrating into to larger corporations than medium corporations then. And that will happen. That will happen. Now, in our lifetime, or yeah, probably. But with it, there's evolution. With it will be different jobs that will come up in and around them, the maintenance of them, everything else that goes with it. You know, might close off one avenue, but others will open. It's an inevitability. There are a couple of there's a number of articles. If you actually go to Google Scholar, you can see articles about artificial intelligence. You know, there's an article, like a scholarly article from 1999, which was talking about the advances in AI planning, and seeing how the planning algorithms developed over the course of the previous few years. There's also an article talking about is it a threat? So it was assessing artificial intelligence for humanity. Is it our biggest advance or our biggest threat? Now again, to be fair, while it's a bit clickbaity as a title, they do actually go through this in pretty decent depth. Fundamentally, though, again, something that's been missed is that, and they didn't really talk about it properly in terms of AGI, because that's the threat, not artificial intelligence. Because artificial intelligence is pre-programmed. It's not evolving and learning. Well, it is evolving and learning, but it's not evolving and learning at a rate that surpasses humanity because it's pre-programmed. You're talking about an evolutionary system. And if you want to learn about it, to be fair, Ben Goetzel has had a couple of interviews. He had one in the past couple of years, one with Lex Friedman, which is 4 hours long, but it was really good. He also did another one with Joe Rogan. Ben Goertzel is the founder of SingularityNET. Now, SingularityNET is an exceptional project within AI. The other one is Fetch.io. Both of these interest me immensely. So most of the AI projects are not necessarily looking at creating a product that's going to, like Siri. It's not looking at something that's going to be integrated into everyone's lives. It's looking at a point of service. So Fetch and Singularity are quite different. Singularity Net, which its ticker is AGIX, is looking at effectively creating an AI marketplace. So what they've got is an AI network where you can go onto a marketplace, you can, use the marketplace to pay for a job. You can also create AI, so that's people that have created services, right? You can request AI services. Now that's where you send out what you're looking for. And within SingularityNET, what SingularityNET does is it sends off a job split into multiple different multiple different points of programmable activity, and different computers around the world do the job, or do their section of the job. The sections are complete, the job is sent, the sections are then sent and returned to the same point of call, ordered, structured, and a complete job is done through artificial intelligence. And it's an opportunity because, again, it's a scenario where you've got a marketplace that can be used by individuals, small businesses, large businesses. And this, to me, has immense potential because on top of the fact that I actually think the leader, the co-founder, Ben Goertzel, is an exceptionally clever individual who clearly has a very good, very clear understanding and grasp of how to organize for developers, organize for people that are trying to purchase a service, make this easier for scholars. They've created something really impressive here. AGI, by the way, that term was coined by himself and a couple of founders. And artificial general intelligence is something we hear about regularly, and it came from himself and 2 other men that he was writing a book with many, many years ago. And this, to me, has huge potential because it's so scalable as well. Once you start having a decentralized network that you've got huge corporations that start using, there's such room for development, there's so much room for scalability. Their ecosystem has grown really well. They've got the biggest focus at the moment with Singularity DAO for me. I like that. So it's a layer 2 non-custodial DeFi solution. So it allows people to manage dynamic token sets. You've also got a decentralized AI alliance, True AGI as well, which is the pursuit of AGI. I'm less enamored with that as an idea, but I think that's certainly not going to happen in my lifetime. Many, 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 many years away. And you can check out their blog, obviously, and keep up to date with what they're doing. True AGI have got their roadmap up and running. So Singularity Studio do as well. But there's a lot going on, as always. But the vision behind SingularityNET is really good. I like it. And then with Fetch.ai is different because it's about building an infrastructure for individuals, businesses, and organizations. The idea that people can use AI through their network, and they've got open source software for them. Anyone, whether it's an individual, small business, large business, to build a digital economy through Fetch.ai, built in Cambridge, and yeah, again, this is really good. These two are the top tier within this sector right now. But I don't see, fundamentally, I cannot see how we don't have an explosion in AI over the coming 5 to 10 years. It's something that's constantly worked upon by every industry. It's something that down the line everyone wants. Certainly every business wants, maybe not every individual, right? But every business wants a system that can start evolving, and a system that can start learning, and a system that can make your business and your life more efficient. You know, that's why Siri is there. Well, that's certainly the justification for why Siri is there. And we're not really seeing these potential innovations crack mainstream. Other than this real specific section, you know, we've not seen it permeate our lives truly. And it's sort of a matter of time. You know, even when, Elon Musk's OpenAI, they were saying that the whole idea, this is a step towards building AI systems which accomplish well-defined goals, messy, complicated situations involving real humans. The idea being that they're looking for breakthroughs that are going to be able to deal with problems that are complex and provide solutions that may be better than or can be created faster than we can solve them as humans. And that's a higher level of AI, but it's still aspirational, but you know, it's always going to be. And it is. But when you look at it, when you look at the market cap of big data and top AI, it's small. 7.5 billion. When you really think about it, gaming right now is 35 billion in crypto. These sectors are going to grow. AI is inevitable. In our lifetimes, it's inevitable. It's already here. And the need for businesses to start cutting costs in efficient ways means it's going to be difficult for a lot of people, but it's going to grow. It's going to make life easier, and you're going to have the best in class if you want your business to be more efficient. And looking at what's around at the moment, those two have huge potential. There are others, of course there are others. I don't have time to talk about more, so I'll talk about those two. You know, but I don't see a sector that has more potential to grow than AI. Because the moment that they penetrate your lives, they're there. They're there. Everyone on this video is asked, like I said, everyone on this video is watching has asked Siri or Cortana, Alexa some dumbass question because it's made them laugh, but they've asked them real questions as well. Siri, how do I get to? Siri, what time is? It happens. So, and blockchains and decentralized blockchains that can provide that solution for businesses, they could go wild. And right now, because these are so small in market cap, many of them comparatively to a lot of the projects out there, it means they'll retrace harder. And the bear cycle is going to be very interesting, because how much they retrace, especially as they continue to develop and continue to innovate, could be fascinating. Could be a really good investment. I'm very, very keen to see what happens with these in the bear cycle. I don't think they've got the potential to grow that much during this cycle now. Certainly not the AI stuff. Not in this cycle, but the next one. Oh my God. Yeah, very much got my eye on that. But yeah, but AI, nothing to fear. AGI, important distinction. Yeah, AGI Terminator, AI Siri. Right. Anyway, so for me, I hope you're all keeping well. And if you want to see what I'm holding, what cryptos I'm holding, you can check out Copy My Crypto. Like I say, it's where I share my portfolio, which is outperforming the market constantly, and like bang on about it all the time. But bank the profits, bank the profits, bank the profits all the way through this cycle. Don't try and get out at the top; you'll get burnt. But then stay in the market. The bear cycle is the best opportunity to change life. Phantom, 438 times up in value. I found in the bear cycle. You know, VeChain, that was in the bear cycle. That spotted that at 0.4%. It's now up 33 times in value. There's so many of these gems knocking about. And I'll be sharing them with the members of Copy My Crypto. So if you want to be a part of that, you can check it out. Anyway, take it easy.